All right, what's up, guys? So let's start off with the Warriors and the Thunder, but let's really go back to before the game started because the Thunder fans threw so much shade, as much of the headlines are saying this morning, at Kevin Durant. If you were just following along on any form of social media, you would have seen this coming from a mile away. We knew that Kevin Durant was not going to be welcomed to Oklahoma City because he went to the Warriors. Now, I actually believe it would have been a different story if he signed pretty much anywhere else save for like Cleveland. Like if Kevin Durant went to the Celtics or the Lakers, I think they would have adored him in his return. Now, just because it was the Warriors, obviously there's a whole narrative with that in terms of him going to the 73 win team. Yada, yada, yada. We know that. So I'm going to show you some elements that we picked up along the way. For one, the people who dressed up as cupcakes, that's really funny. So I thought that was something like that wasn't going to get forgotten. And then the T-shirts that were going out, Coward and Choke Artist and all those things, were really flooding the internet before, during, and after the game. I also loved how after the game, there was Draymond Green and Steph Curry, who both opted to wear cupcake T-shirts.
With the shirt, Draymond.
Oh, they made them here. Um, Somebody out there blessed me with one. So
KD didn't take offense to it. You wearing it?
I don't know. You have to ask him. But I was blessed with a shirt. I want to support Cupcake.
Because the most important thing here is that the Warriors demolished the Thunder for a third time this season. And something I find really unique and something I find interesting is it seems like Thunder fans think the Warriors are undefeated this season and that nobody has beaten them. So last time I checked, teams like the Grizzlies, the Lakers, they've beaten the Warriors this season. The Rockets have beaten the Warriors this season. And I get it, the Rockets probably have a better team than the Thunder. Granted, the Rockets and the Thunder are both still playoff teams, and the Lakers are far from that, and the Grizzlies are right middle of the pack, right with Oklahoma City. And they say, well, the Grizzlies have Conley and Gasol, Randolph coming off the bench, J. Michael Green, right? They have more of a team. Well, I don't get where this argument comes from that the Warriors cannot be beat in a one-game instance, especially on your own court. The difference here is that the Warriors come into town and they demolished the Thunder. And when the Thunder went to Golden State, they demolished the Thunder. One interesting storyline, I find this fascinating. It seems like Kevin Durant saved something for the Thunder, right? That's not right. That's actually, there's really no justification for that. Because guys like Westbrook, who play 120% against every opponent every single day, his game doesn't change. Durant's kind of seem like it does, right? And the Warriors make it seem like they have to back up their player. You know, he's on the team, he's their teammate now. Obviously, they're going to do anything in their power to protect KD, which makes sense. But it seems a little weird that Kevin Durant plays his best basketball against the Thunder when Kevin Durant should be playing his best basketball, I would hope, against the Cavaliers and the Spurs and maybe the Thunder again in the playoffs and the Rockets in the playoffs. Like, it shouldn't be that KD is shooting 65% against one team because he has this thing to prove against Oklahoma City. And it seems like we're giving him a pass in terms of his play outside of that. And what's funny is that his play outside of it is still pretty much MVP caliber. But man, the guy's shooting 65% against Oklahoma City this year. You're telling me he's not saving something for that? So as for the game itself, a couple of graphics that ESPN was throwing around yesterday. In terms of contested shooting by opponents this season, he's scoring 24 points per game with a hand in his face against the Thunder, 63% from the field and 67% contested from three. Versus the rest of the NBA, he's just averaging 13.1 points. His defense against the Thunder, especially with Kevin Durant as a primary defender, was holding them to 8 of 29 shooting. That's pretty impressive. 8 of 29 shooting on the season when KD's the primary defender. 4 of 13 on Saturday. And then lastly, the dumbest statistic that they gave you is don't leave the Warriors open. Yeah, no shit, man. Uncontested, they shot 26 of 37. They scored 57 points. They were 50% from three. All stuff we kind of knew already. It got a little scrappy at times. That's expected. Andre Roberson got in his face. He's just, again, backing up Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook kept telling him he was coming, and he was kind of screaming at him midway through. I think it was towards the end of the third quarter. Not surprising, the fans were pouring it on, but as I kind of mentioned, I said scoreboard on Twitter because that's all that mattered. They were losing by like 20 points, right? So Westbrook went off, scored 47 points, almost secured a triple-double. He secured a triple-double with turnovers, where he had his 11th turnover of the game, but obviously who do you want the ball in the hands of? It's still Russell Westbrook. I'm not super concerned about his turnovers the same way I was never super concerned about James Harden's turnovers. But one of the things that really stood out here is that, you know, once you start saying that, well, they're blowing out the Thunder, so all the fans chanting, all the boos, even Durant throwing out shade later after the game saying he thought it would be louder, all those fans, it doesn't really mean as much to them as I think a win would. And then there's this really bad argument that, yeah, the Thunder aren't as good as the Warriors. Yeah, that's true, but you're on your home court and you have every reason to want this to be the most important game of your season, so beat them. The Grizzlies have, the Spurs have, the Rockets have, the Lakers have. Those are all teams that have beaten the Warriors. The Warriors have lost 8 times. They are not undefeated on the season. So it's a bad argument to think that the Thunder couldn't come out and beat them. It's a game plan for it. You played with the guy for 8 years. You should know better than anybody else how to defend him. But it didn't work out that way. So the Warriors went on to just completely trash Oklahoma City. And after the game, some cupcake shirts, kind of already mentioned that. As for UFC 208, we're going to bring some more on Monday. I have to rewatch a lot of the home and GDR fight because I missed most of it. I did see some of the undercards, a lot of decisions, which I thought was pretty interesting. So, all right, comment below, like, favorite, and subscribe to all this. You can follow me on Twitter, @ChaseRubin91. We'll be back in studio tomorrow morning. See ya.